Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome into The Hop. It's the podcast. It's all about beer. It's about beer. It's not about beer. It's about everything in between. I am your co-host, Gabe.
I'm Steven. What's up, guys?
What is going on? Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first ever episode. Finally kicking things off. We had been talking about doing a podcast for a really long time. We wanted it to involve craft beer. We wanted it to involve breweries. We wanted it to involve non-craft beer related things. And so now we're finally doing it. We're wrapping it all in once, and we got beers on the way.
So we are drinking Counterweight Brewing today. We're going to be sampling 3 different beers from them. Awesome brewery out of Hamden, Connecticut.
Shout out our hometown.
Where we're from. We wanted to kick it off with something local, right from home. So we're drinking Counterweight. We got a nice smattering of beers for you guys. It's going to be a good one.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, Gabe.
Let's grab a drink.
All right, everyone, we want to welcome you in officially to the HOP, H-O-P. It stands for really whatever we want it to, really. Don't you worry about it. But it is the H-O-P. And we're here because we want to be your new drinking buddies. We are here to make craft beer fun. We're here to make it informative. We definitely have a lot of craft beer insight to share with you guys, but most importantly, we want to make it entertaining. We are not craft beer experts, necessarily.
I would consider us enthusiasts.
Craft beer enthusiasts.
It just sounds better.
We know a lot about beer. We have a lot of information to impart, if you will, but we're not here to be your kind of nerdy home brewing podcast. We're here to be a place where everybody can come together and just grab a drink. So if you're a craft beer nerd, if you're home brewing in your garage, or if you are just someone who's just looking for someone to drink with, you have a home with us.
And even for the people who are non-beer drinkers, we want to make sure we wanted to include everyone. So even if you're not a beer drinker, do not worry. We will find something that represents something close to what you like. Maybe a sour, maybe some type of like wine or something like that. We have already spoken about maybe bringing some whiskey and tequila into these episodes.
Some whiskey and tequila. We might even do, and for those Bud Light drinkers, those Corona people out there, don't feel isolated from us. We are going to feature those on the podcast too, because beer is beer.
Beer is beer, and we got to shotgun something.
Like what you like. We might be snarky every now and then, but we're not trying to be. We're going to keep each other in check, but we're not trying to be craft beer nerds. So feel like you have a home with us. That said, we do 100% support independent local breweries. We're going to try to feature as many weird, different beers as we can from all over the country and really the world. Whatever we can get our hands on. We might be limited by what we're able to find in our stores and in our travels, but we're going to do our best to feature breweries, beers, styles, and all that stuff, really from all over the place. So that's pretty much everything I got to say on that point.
That's pretty much who we are and what we're about to do. We have access. Steven's right now based in LA. I'm right now based in New York City. So, I mean, we've got some great options for beer, let alone Connecticut, where we're both from. We're going to, like Steven said, we're going to do whatever we can, get our hands on anything we can, while educating, while entertaining, all in one. So without further ado, let's just keep it moving here.
Let's dive in. And the first thing we're going to do in every episode, if we can, is we're going to highlight some news and notes from around the craft beer world. We want to highlight some big beer stories that we hear out there, and kind of keep everyone up to speed on what's going on in the world of beer. Gabe, what do we got?
All right. So, let's get into what's been going on around in the beer world. For those of you in Ohio, get pumped. We definitely have thousands of listeners in Ohio.
Ohio.
Columbus Winter Beer Fest returns in January, celebrating #10 years of beers. Columbus Winter Beer Fest, presented by Taft's Brewing Company, returns to downtown Columbus. It's going to be a 2-night celebration of craft beer, more than 350 local, regional, and hard-to-find craft beers from more than 130 breweries, including North High Brewing, Columbus Brewing Company, Taft's, and so many more. That sounds like just so much fun. Any organization where you can go and just be surrounded by beer. We once went to Vermont for the beer fest up there.
I go to beer fest whenever I can. Like, if you can get to a beer fest, do it, because it's just like 3 hours of fun, and you're gonna find weird stuff that you've never seen anywhere else.
Right. Expand your palate, man.
And then I definitely recommend going to a night session if you can, and I recommend Ubering home.
Proceeds from the 10th annual Columbus Winter Beer Fest benefit Animal Rescue Partners and I Have a Dream Rescue Organization in their shared mission to find forever homes for animals in need. Help those little puppies out. They need homes, and we need beer.
So if we do have any listeners in Ohio, which would be fucking dope if we do, you can visit the ColumbusWinterBeerFest.com to get tickets. Like we said, that is going to be in the middle of January, or towards the end. Sorry, you can go January 24th or 25th. Friday and Saturday, they have a few different sessions, so check it out.
And if you get a regular admission ticket, it includes 25 beer sample tickets, and it's an 8-ounce souvenir glass or mug. Acrylic mug. And the best part is that, you know, when we went to the beer fest in Vermont, it was kind of the same thing. I mean, you go there, you sample all these beers. I mean, I don't know about you, but beer 4 or 5, I was like, all right, I'm starting to feel a little fuzzy here.
Nice.
In the best way possible.
Eat food before you go.
And always get a ride home or Uber.
Always get a ride home. Moving on, Pelican Brewing Company, we wanted to give a shout out to them. They're in Oregon, and they recently scored 4 medals at the Brussels Beer Challenge. This is a international competition that provides a unique opportunity for beer producers from around the world to compete with the best international and Belgian brewers. So Pelican, coming out of Oregon, went over there and scored big for the United States and America's independent brewers. Over a period of 3 days, a panel of 100 internationally renowned beer experts judged 1,800 beers from all corners of the world.
To be one of those judges.
Oh God.
Oh God.
What do you think it takes to become? You think we're probably on our way to becoming
just beer judges?
An internationally renowned beer expert, right?
I like this one.
It probably started with a podcast.
It probably did. I mean,
for all of them.
If we get popular enough, we can just go judge beer around the world.
They're gonna have us in Brussels.
Hey, sign me up.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Pour me another one.
Yeah, they subdivided the beers into different categories, origin, typology, style, and then they taste them, and then they award the finest beers, gold, silver, and bronze medals, just like the Olympics.
Shout out the Olympics.
2020.
Coming soon.
Coming up. Our favorite event of the 4 years.
Our favorite 2 weeks.
Our favorite event of the fortnight. So Pelican got silver medals for Father of All Tsunamis in the Russian Imperial Stout barrel or oak aged category. Come on! And the Tsunami Stout.
What $1 million sentence right there.
Oh, that was beautiful. Their Beakbender Hoppinated IPA and their Kawanda Cream Ale. Kawanda forever.
I knew you were going to say that.
They took bronze medals for that. So we just wanted to feature it because it's cool. It's always nice to see an independent brewery from the United States going and competing on the international stage and doing well. Pelican is a prestigious and award-winning brewery. They opened, I believe, in 1996 in Oregon, so they are crushing it. But they do pride themselves on being born at the beach. and they have a few locations around Oregon. So for all of our listeners in Oregon, give some love to the fine people at Pelican Brewing.
Now, this is really cool. Carl Strauss Brewing, San Diego, introduces a breakfast maple stout, but what they're doing is each year it's like the 12 days of Christmas. So they have their annual holiday ale series. So each year they come out with like a new beer for the 12 days of Christmas. Going back to all the way to 2010, we got Parrot and a Palm Tree Baltic Porter, Two Tortugas Quadruple Ale. Oh man, I'm not French. I know I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Moet à Trois Fruitcake Ale. Fruitcake Ale. That's probably really good. Four Scowling Owns Triple. Owns. I can't speak.
Reading is hard when a microphone is in front of your face.
Oh, 100%. We'll blame everything else. 5 Wee Heavy Bells Scotch Ale.
Stop. Do it again in a Scottish accent.
In a
It's got to be read in a Scottish accent.
5 Wee Heavy Bells Scotch Ale. I was more Irish. I was just trying to.
That was so Irish.
That didn't work.
Wow, I put you right on the spot.
Thanks for embarrassing me.
I thought you were going to come through with that.
Well, okay. Well, you try. What is a Scottish?
I don't know.
Oh, well,
5 Wee Heavy Bells Scotch.
It's Irish. Don't even.
That's coming out of the podcast.
No, that's staying in. We got 6 Suits a Hangin', Imperial Belgian Brown Ale.
6 Suits a Hangin'.
7 Sharks a Circlin', Imperial Smoked Porter. Nice. Now we got something good. 8 Merry Merriman, triple.
Merry Merman.
It's 5.
Oh.
5 golden rings. Do you not know the song?
I thought by the time we got to 8, it would have to do it again. Doesn't it do it more than once?
No, okay, so if we're going to do... No, it does not. It does it only once.
Really?
And it's during 5. 5 golden rings. So in that case, we have to read the 5 in a Scottish accent with that pace.
5 Wee Heavy Bells Scotch Ale.
Not bad. 9 Bonfires Blazing Golden Stout. And then for the 10th one, they've got the... Where the hell is it?
The new one.
10 Beers for Breakfast. It is a brand new maple stout brewed with vanilla beans, rolled oats, and maple syrup. Are you kidding me?
Yes,
Are
please.
you kidding me? Full-bodied, very good. Carl Strauss Brewing, San Diego. For all the listeners, for the thousands of listeners in California, because we have so many now.
We better have a lot.
San Diego.
Yeah, if you can still catch it, be on the lookout. And if not, find it next year. Finally, wrapping up the news and notes section, I just think this was kind of, humorous. Coca-Cola filed a complaint against the Mark Anthony brand White Claw hard seltzer because they are trying to introduce a new flavor of White Claw called Surge. And Coca-Cola is complaining that this infringes on their Surge brand of citrus sodas. I didn't even know they still made that, but Coca-Cola is, they complained about it.
White Claw is slowly taking over.
White Claw.
And I'm not happy about it.
I can't even shit on it because I've never had it. I just can't imagine. You know what it fully is? Like, I bet White Claw is delicious because a lot of people like it, but I had the Twisted Tea years ago.
Yeah.
And that was so off-putting to me that
I
the
never
idea
got
of alcoholic
into that.
seltzer.
Yeah, I never got into like the Twisted Tea. That was like a college freshman drink. We don't have any beer, so we're just gonna pound 6 of these and get tipsy. I don't know.
Of what? Twisted Tea?
Twisted Tea. People like go
it just
hard
was
with
like
that.
so. I don't know what I was expecting it to taste like, but
Does it taste like iced tea?
it tasted like badness.
Mm.
Whatever
Badness.
Whatever
he says.
badness tastes
Not
like.
madness.
No,
Badness.
it tasted like the flavor of wrong.
Picture wrong in your head. That's what Twisted Tea is.
Whatever flavor just shot through your taste buds.
Remember when we said we were going to be inclusionary? Yeah.
We are. If you drink White Claw, come. Welcome to the podcast.
If you drink White Claw, we're going to find... Okay, yeah, let's say this. If you drink White Claw, that's fine, no judgment. We're going to try to find a beer that's very similar.
Yeah, we're going to try to find one. And if you don't like it, I'm laying this down right now for you, from my mouth. You heard it first. We're going to do a White Claw episode on this podcast.
Oh, God.
We're
should
gonna do
shotgun
it.
White Claw. Has anyone ever done that?
If you've done that, please tweet us or Instagram DM us, which is a thing that you can do now.
Wow. Steven doesn't know how to use Instagram.
I don't know how to use Instagram, but I know that we have one. Anyway, Coca-Cola is suing White Claw because they claim that White Claw hard seltzer's products are highly similar and or closely related to the goods for which Surge's mark is registered and may be offered, at least in part, to the same or related. The point is, White Claw is being sued by Coca-Cola, and I look forward to hearing how all that plays out. So
that's going to be a fun shakedown.
That's all the news and notes we got for you. Guys, before we bust into the beer, every episode we want to throw a little toast at you. We want to raise our glasses. Thank you for joining us. And we have some sophisticated music to play while we do that.
This toast is for you guys. Oh my God. Pinky's out, am I right?
Yes. Raise your glasses, ladies and gentlemen. A toast. Here's to the people who don't drink. We should all feel bad for them, because when they wake up in the morning, that's the best they'll feel all day.
Damn.
Okay, make it stop. It was very aggressive. We'll find a way to fade that. All right, let's drink some beer. Hey, what are we drinking, Gabe?
Today,
what are we starting off with?
3 options that we're all going to plow through. First one we are doing is one of the more classic beers that Counterweight has to offer. It's been a fan favorite. I mean, I see it everywhere. I see it in New York.
It's their flagship beer.
It's their flagship beer. It is none other than the Headway IPA. Pew!
Oh,
play it.
Shit.
Let's hear it. Yeah!
Headway! Yes!
You
Headway
can't hear that sound and not get pumped up. Anyway,
if you don't like that sound, you should probably stop listening to this podcast.
If you don't like, oh man. Yeah, oof. We're going to play that sound after when something sad happens because it'll be funny. Headway IPA.
Oh shit, I spilled my beer.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody dies, somebody spills a beer.
All right, that's enough.
We've already lost a handful of people. We got the Headway IPA. They're one of their classic IPAs, brewed with 4 varieties of American hops, blends these hops with a variety in the kettle, and the dry hopping allows these varieties to be bright and expressive, and not many people know this. It is surprisingly juicy.
It's a shocking... Let's taste it first and foremost.
Let's get into it.
So just off the bat, it pours, just looking at it, it's got like a straw color to it, like a straw. If I were to put this on the SRM chart, which is that's a chart that is it's the standard research method number scale. If you're unfamiliar with it, and the SRM beer color scale is how we kind of define on a numbered scale 1 to over 40 how dark a beer is in color. So this is probably clocking in at around between like a 3 to a 5, like in that range. It's pretty
cloudy.
light.
It's cloudy.
It's a yellow, like a light yellow color, but it is cloudy. It's labeled as an American IPA, but it really looks hazy, straw color. It looks like a New England. You know what I mean?
Salud.
All right, salud.
Yeah. Oh, just like college.
Oh, it's nice.
Wow, that's so smooth. Oh, we're coming in at 6.5%. So the percentage is ABV. It's basically how strong the alcohol is.
Alcohol by volume.
Alcohol by volume, that too. If we're in the 8% or higher, it's normally around the double IPA area. You can find some IPAs in the 8%, but the higher the percentage, the stronger the beer is. 6.5, pretty solid. Takes a few to get a little loose, if you know what I'm saying.
So to give you an idea of alcohol by volume, your standard Budweiser is probably clocking in at around 4.1.
Yeah.
And then when you get into wine, you're talking about like 12.5 ABV.
Yeah.
So that's a stronger drink. And then when we get into like hard liquor, we're looking at like 20 or more.
This beer makes me want to like tell a story.
Gather round.
Yeah, it's definitely like a gather round kind of drink.
Should we do that? Just like just the tasting note side of it.
Yeah. Definitely very, very citrusy.
Yeah, on the smell, on the nose, what you're going to smell kind of immediately is definitely like grapefruit, some lemon.
Those hops, smelling it, I feel like it hits you more than when you drink it. But it's not a hard hit. It's very smooth. It's very, very easy. It's easy to drink, in my opinion.
It's really drinkable. It is definitely when you taste it, the first thing that's going to hit you, like Gabe said, is the citrus, the juiciness, some grapefruit, and there is bitterness to it because it is an IPA. You definitely have those notes of like pine and some kind of lingering bitterness in the back end, but it's not very hop forward for an IPA. It's definitely, I would say this beer to me looks, tastes, and drinks like a New England IPA. It's just not called one.
Correct.
And mouthfeel wise, it's medium bodied. It's a moderate carbonation. It kind of sits in your mouth really nicely. It's just a really nice drinkable beer.
What season would you want this the most in?
I think like the summer. Like
really?
This is like a summery beer to me.
Okay.
You know, it's not like a heavy winter beer.
Correct. I agree.
What about you?
My first thought was to say fall, but now that you mentioned summer, I might change my answer to summer. I'm definitely
late summer.
Yeah, late summer. It's
merging
like,
on fall.
It's not 1,000,000 degrees out. It's like, it's like warm out.
It's a I mean, there's definitely like the complexity of the different hop varieties that are in there.
Right.
The flavors of it definitely give it like some spiciness to it. So I could definitely enjoy that around the fall when you're normally drinking your beers with like either pumpkin flavors or like a lot of coriander, nutmeg, ginger, all that kind of stuff, which I don't taste as much in this beer. But the complexities of the hops and the citrus definitely give it like a vibrancy.
This beer is solid too. I feel like there are a lot of beers where it's hard to drink with food because the beer is so complex that you want it on its own. But this beer, I feel like you can do either or. You can drink it on the side, or if you're out with the fam, very nice dinner. Maybe it's the anniversary. Maybe it's a birthday. Maybe you're celebrating something. I don't know. But you're out and you're drinking. I'll have a Headway IPA, please, from Hamden, Connecticut.
From Hamden, Connecticut. The land of hope and
God, who knew our hometown would have great beer?
Counterweight, I mean,
Counterweight's crushing it.
When did Counterweight open? Was it like 2000?
Yesterday.
They just started.
They haven't been around.
20 beers on day one. No, but they are pretty new.
They haven't been around for that long.
Yeah, it's pretty recent, and Headway was their flagship beer. When you start a new brewery, the first thing you want to do is pop out your decent IPA, right? It's
absolutely.
The most drinkable one. I mean, I love that the first beer we have on the podcast is an IPA. That's sort of like
that's who we are.
That's
honestly.
where you begin.
Yeah.
I think really like it's the American standard.
Let's talk more about the brewery. They've got it.
Oh, yeah.
So they're in Hamden, Connecticut. They've got their own tap room. And one of the best parts, I'm just going to throw this out there real quick. One of the best parts about this brewery is they are pet friendly.
Oh, it's delightful.
And they have a dog wall. If you bring your dog in, they will get a picture and throw it on the wall. And bonus points if you can get your dog to drink beer while the photo's being taken. It won't count at the brewery, but we'll give you
bonus points.
We'll give you the bonus points.
And then PETA will come and take your dog.
Yeah, but was it worth it though? The beer guys hooked you guys up.
It really is such a if you go in there on a Saturday afternoon, especially like in the summer, they have a great outdoor patio area to sit. They have a awesome tap room with 2 stories. So you kind of you walk in and there's this great bar and there's games and stuff and everything and it kind of comes to life. There's food trucks outside, and then you make a right and there's a staircase to go upstairs and you walk through the brewery itself. So you're seeing the barrels on the wall.
That's what I love. I love going to a place like a tap room in a brewery and being able to like look through a window and seeing it all happen.
Yeah, and here you don't even look through a window. You literally walk basically through the brew house area. You see the barrels, you see the barrel aging happening, you see all the equipment, and you go upstairs to another bar where there's a whole other hangout area. There's a fireplace up there, I think. There's
cuddle up with Bay.
Bay, if you're out there.
Yes, sir.
And there's dogs everywhere.
People are always bringing in pets. And I have to say, we've done a Saturday afternoon and it's been pretty packed. We've done a, Tuesday night and it's been packed. I mean, I think every single time it's just been, it's super popular and everyone really loves it. There are, as most breweries are known for, food trucks. You will never go hungry. They always have new things. Last time we went, we got buffalo chicken sliders. Come on
to whoever that was that made those.
Yo, shout out to the sliders.
Shout out to that food truck. We don't know who they are, but
delicious.
If you make sliders in Hamden, Connecticut, there's a solid chance we're shouting you out right now.
If you make sliders in Hamden, Connecticut, and you serve them out of a truck with a horn that goes, you are our favorite. Our favorite.
They have kind of their brewery philosophy is kind of this odyssey of brewing, right? They're seeking to continuously honor long-held brewing traditions. They want to stay true to the beer styles that we all know and love, but they also want to explore new and innovative methods to highlight each ingredient and delight your palate with every sip. I think this brewery is kind of the epitome of that. Like, they're always experimenting with different ingredients. How can they highlight a different ingredient? Sometimes you go into there, especially over the summer, and you'll look at the menu and be like, you guys have 4 IPAs and 3 double IPAs and a saison. Like,
yeah, they don't mess around.
But they're all IPAs. But you go, but they're all different. They're all unique.
Yeah.
Because they're all focusing on a different hop varietal. That's a bitch of a word to say.
Varietal.
No word will make us sound drunker than trying to say the word varietal.
Or
by the time we get to the last one, varietal.
Yeah. By beer 3, we're gonna be like, yeah, this beer is really good. It's just go buy it.
Just drink it.
I have to say something in accordance with this brewery and the first Sunday of every month, because I found this on the website and I thought I kind of want to do this on the first Sunday of every month at, where are we drinking from? Counterweight Brewing. Wow, I'm already feeling it.
Wow.
They have Find Your Balance Sundays. They have. I know I'm going to say this wrong.
I'll say it.
Go ahead.
Vinyasa class.
Is that how it's pronounced? Because I honestly don't know. Vinyasa class. Vinyasa class. It's like a flowing yoga class to soothe the body and mind. And if you pay for a class, you get a free beer. Tickets are only $20. It's like an hour. You go down to Counterweight, you get super relaxed, super chill, you get in touch with your body, mind, soul, spirit, Holy Ghost.
And then you forget it all.
With a solid beer. Like,
that you don't pay for.
Like,
it's
Gabe and
genius. We are, like we said, we're from this town, so we are
I went to a
Hamden,
party
Connecticut.
here once, so.
We are, I would say, pseudo-celebrities in town, right, Gabe? I mean,
totally. Yeah, everyone knows who we are.
Everyone knows us. And if you know anything about Gabe and I, you can most often find us barefooted atop a yoga mat.
Yeah, that's us.
With our...
doing downward dog.
Serene,
like, how the fuck I'm stuck.
Down dogging it.
Yikes.
But if I was going to do it, it would probably happen at a brewery.
I mean, why the hell not? Free beer, I'm there.
How's this beer treating you?
I love it. Every sip is, I get that citrus is just hitting the back of my throat and it's so good. I taste a little bit of lemon too. You get that at all?
Oh yeah.
I can taste the grapefruit, but
I taste grapefruit primarily. I taste the lemon. I taste a little bit of
I can feel it on like the back of my tongue.
Orange. Yeah, and then the bitterness is what kind of lingers.
Yes,
like
that's exactly right.
That's the lasting taste. Like that's the I mean, it doesn't linger too long. It's not a crazy double IPA, but
right.
it's definitely in there.
Makes you want to drink more.
Overall, it does drink like a nice juicy New England, and we are.
Counterweight has a lot of other beers. Most of the beers on tap are very good. They've got IPA, bourbon barrel aged. They've got stouts, pilsners. Say it for me. Saison. Oh my God, I could not say that earlier. They've got oatmeal stouts. They've got rotating beers in house. There are just so many to count.
Yeah, so they're in that exciting stage of like where they're a newer brewery, so they were featuring a lot of IPAs, and now they're at the point where they're starting to some of that stuff that takes a little longer to brew is starting to come to fruition. They're starting to get a little experimental. You're starting to see more lagers. You're seeing some pilsners.
Yeah.
You're seeing the saisons. You're definitely seeing the sours. We're going to feature one of them in just a little bit. You're seeing those German styles, a little bit more variety in their menu.
Ho, ho, hope for the kids. They have American IPA. Sign me up.
They have so many beers too. If you go to their website and just look around, like they have a ton of brews, and they also have a little. I love when breweries have like a graveyard on their website, like retired brews, so they call it. Just like all the beers that just aren't with us anymore, but probably were great at the time.
They'll forever be in our hearts.
A lot of IPAs.
A lot of IPAs.
So take a look there, but their brewery always has like what do they have, like 10, 12 beers on tap?
Yeah.
So.
And the people there are very, very nice.
The people there are delightful. And I'm ready for a second beer.
I'm ready for beer number 2. Do we want to go with table beer?
Yeah, I think we move from. I think we're going to move from the IPA to the sours.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm not big on sours, so this will be fun for me.
Oh, well, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. All right, beer number 2. It is called the Proper Pause. It is known as a table beer or a sour.
A Brett.
Hey, Steven.
Yes, Gabe.
I have a question, just real Gabe, quick. Just wondering if you
what can I do for you? Yes. Wait. Raise your hand.
Okay. Raise my hand.
Gabe.
Let the record show I was raising my hand.
His hand is raised.
What the hell is a sour?
What is a sour?
Is it
Gabe?
beer that's sour? No.
Is it beer that's gone bad?
No.
Sour beer is beer which is intentionally acidic. So it's got a high acidity level, a tart, or a sour taste.
But in a good way.
Yeah. So most common, there are a bunch of different sour beer styles. There are lambics, there are gozas, there are Flanders red ales. This is a table Brett. Brett beer is beer that has Brettanomyces. I can never really pronounce it. Brettanomyces. So modern brewing is done in sterile environments, right? Breweries work really hard to clean everything, make sure everything is sterile, and make sure that nothing is contaminating or getting into the beer that you don't want in there, right?
Yeah, you have to, especially after when you use the barrels, or not the barrels, the big cylinder things. I mean,
you got to clean everything.
You got to clean those. There's no way you could brew twice without cleaning those in between.
So, but sour beers are made by intentionally allowing wild yeast strains or certain kinds of bacteria into the brew. So they'll do this through barrel aging, or they'll cool the wort in a cool ship, which is a whole other thing that we can get into at another time. But there's a whole bunch of different ways of getting these bacteria, such as Brettanomyces, into a beer. And what it does is it gives the beer a very highly acidic, sour kind of mouthfeel, which is why it's really popular with a lot of wine drinkers.
Yes, just about to say that. Wine drinkers pay attention.
Yeah. It's something that you might enjoy because it's something that's a little bit further away from the kind of intense bitterness that you might associate with an IPA or the aggressive malt that you might not like so much in your typical, even like a Budweiser or a more stout or darker beer or anything like that. This is much more vibrant, much more acidic, and fruity, really nice in the summer.
This beer in particular spent more than a year resting in barrels with multiple strains of wild yeasts and then conditioned in the bottle for more than 4 months. Result is a nice, like Steven said, Brett characteristic. Shout out to Brett. I don't know who he is, but he's doing something right. Some pineapple-like flavors, light oak, and some nice funky tones, too. Will this make you a jazz player? No, but funky tones are never bad in the alcohol world. Again, it is called Proper Pause, and I think we should take a proper pause and sip on his drink. But before we do, can we talk about these glasses that we're drinking out of? Sun, sand, and a drink in my hand. Where did these come from?
I don't know where these glasses came from, but they just screamed sour to me.
Okay.
They're so
no,
summery.
They do. I just I noticed.
They're kind of like little wine glasses.
We poured it and I looked at it and I was like, huh, I feel like I should be on the beach.
And now you're going to drink a sour. So before we drink, I just want to note the color. I would put it about the same as Headway.
Yeah, cloudy again.
Again, that SRM scale that we're going to talk about from time to time, I would put it at about 3 to 5. I wouldn't say. I mean, it's not
dark.
No.
It's just a little cloudy.
Yeah, just a little cloudy.
It looks like,
but nice light color.
It looks. It doesn't have like the foam head as much, but it looks like just like the golden beer color.
The head went away really quickly.
Like from far away, you wouldn't know this is a sour. Because there are some sours, it's like pink and red. Like you're drinking, it looks like you're drinking juice.
Some sours, depending on how it's soured, the kind of stuff that they put in it, whether they're putting, red wine involved or strawberries, some kind of fruit or something like that, you can have a sour that does, it looks like a bright red color.
Like a Sharpie.
Yeah. Ew.
You drink a Sharpie.
Throw that sour out.
Hey,
but this one looks exactly like the Headway. It's a nice bright orange color.
Smells like wine, fruity wine.
It smells like pineapple. It smells like
definitely getting the pineapple.
It smells like
you getting strawberry at all? Or am I just crazy?
I get strawberry.
Yeah, you smell that, right?
Just a lot of different fruit. Orange, strawberry, pineapple.
All right.
A little mango.
Let's drink.
Let's do it.
Salud.
Salud.
Fruity.
Ooh.
Fruity.
It's delightful. So it's barrel aged in white wine barrels.
That's probably why.
Which is you kind of get that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not so sour that it like blasts your mouth.
Yeah, no,
the sourness. It's subdued.
I feel like some people, I mean, at least for me, when I first tried a sour for the first time, they were like, yeah, try this. It's a sour. I was like, why the hell would I drink that?
It's like,
no, it's very different. Although I will admit sour is not normally my go-to. This is very good. I mean, it's kind of like a better tasting carbonated wine, but it's a beer. I don't know if that makes sense.
If you like wine and you've always wanted to get into beer, this is a good avenue for you to do it. I would go out and find, if you can't get Counterweight in your hometown, which is highly possible, I would go out and get a sour from any number of companies that are doing it really well. Two Roads, staying local in Connecticut, is a big one for me. But there are, companies at the large scale. Firestone Walker in California does amazing stuff. There are, it's everywhere. And if you're into sours,
they're pretty popular now. I feel like they're spiking up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you are someone who's into sours, there are certain words to look out for when you're reading a menu. If you're in a restaurant or something, if you ever see words like lambic, Brett, Brett.
Look out for your boy Brett.
Goza, Gose.
Yes. Yep.
Any words like that will often mean that the beer is sour. Sometimes they'll say sour ale, wild ale. You will see things like that, but very often it's going to say something like, Berliner Weiss or lambic, and these words mean.
No,
sour?
You do not need to learn Latin to drink these beers.
It was German, but
or also yes.
But this is a nice one. This is a really new beer. There's like not a lot of Googleable information out there.
Yeah.
But they call it a table beer. It clocks in at, I believe, 5.5.
5.5, yeah. So solid, not too strong, not strong too much, but it's got a nice flavor to it and a nice body to it. It's easy to drink. I will say that. Definitely light, got those funky tones like it said, and again, if you like fruit, this is the beer for you.
And they call it a table beer because it's in that world of like lower ABV. It's something you could, you were talking, Gabe, earlier about beers you could kind of sip on while you eat.
Absolutely.
This beer is not going to get in the way of your dinner at all.
It'll probably add to it because, I don't know if I'd get like a steak with this, but definitely like
the steak would overpower this.
Yeah. But I mean, you can definitely eat something and then wash it down with this fruity finish. I mean, it'd be a great combination. And that's the other thing. I mean, a lot of these beers, if you drink a lot, it can get you drunk, like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, but I mean, it's also like so much flavor.
Yeah.
You want to be able to drink it. That's one of our missions. We want you to be able to drink these beers and go, all right, what am I tasting? Because, we want to educate. We want people to know, like, how good these things are and the science behind it all.
I feel like that stuff is so intimidating to people when you hear a lot of podcasts that are like, or podcasts are just beer people who will talk about beer and they'll be like, yes, I'm really getting notes of like Honeycrisp apple and red pepper flake. And you're like, what? Like, I don't taste that in the beer at all. But like, taste whatever you taste. Like, it's just a matter of, we go back to what we said at the top. We're not beer experts.
No.
We're just people who taste what we taste in the beer, and we know a lot about beer. But we're just here to have a good time.
I just came for the beer. Steven invited me and I just kind of showed up.
I invited him and told him to bring a microphone.
Bring a microphone and your taste buds.
Sit over there.
Solid. Hook me up.
This beer, mouthfeel wise, it's pretty well carbonated, and because of the acidity, it definitely kind of zings your mouth as it goes in. There's definitely a pungentness to it, a funk to it.
Correct.
But like we've been kind of talking about, it is not overly sour. It's not one that's going to hit you in the face with that. It is definitely smoother going down, just a sort of nice, easy drinkable beer.
Would you say it's kind of like... what the hell is that? Sangria? Like, how close would you put it to sangria?
I mean, sangria, that's such a polarizing topic because everybody makes their sangria different.
Well, true, yeah.
Some people make it with white wine. Some people make it with red wine. Some people, they put so much fruit in it that it becomes
red wine.
Some people make it with rosé. Some people put hard liquor in their sangria. Like,
wow, really? I don't drink sangria.
I mean, have you ever had sangria?
Yeah, like once.
Yeah, it's but we're drinking a beer that's got a lot of funk and sour to it, so that it and actually it was aged in white wine barrels, and there's fruit notes in the beer, so it is kind of similar to that, I guess.
I don't know. I just like that's one of the first things I normally think of when I have something like this. It's that fruitiness that just brings me to it. And it's like, this I would drink in the summer. This is a summer drink.
I was just going to say that. This is a summer beer. It's not summer now, and we're drinking it. And it's delightful. It's nice.
Yeah, it's smooth.
But like, it would be nice around your holiday table. It would be nice around like 5 o'clock in the afternoon if you're having some friends over
for board game night.
For Monopoly on the veranda.
If you're on your yacht and you want to crack open a sour.
Every time I'm on my yacht, I'm like...
I know, right?
I'm like...
Where's yours parked?
I keep my yacht in Bridgeport.
Why?
And I fly here from L.A.
Yikes.
For the listeners...
The Connecticut people will get that joke.
And we don't have yachts. Clearly...
We sound like we have yachts.
People with yachts obviously start craft beer podcasts.
Right?
That's what they have time for. I mean, we got one more beer. I think it's time.
Oh no.
Dun dun.
Steven, I'm scared.
Dun 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 dun.
What is that? ESPN?
That was ESPN, yeah.
Bum 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 bum. We love football on this podcast too.
We love football.
If you do fantasy football, you will hear us mention our sorrows as we slowly lose our leagues.
Once we're in the height of the fantasy season, you might have to remind me we're not a fantasy football podcast.
Yeah, absolutely not. Because we'll go off.
We'll talk for way too long about that.
That wide receiver screwed me. We'll just go off.
I'm nervous, but are you ready?
I'm ready to dive in. Let's get it.
Number 3. Here we go.
Oh boy.
All right. Our final offering, which I must admit is I'm most excited about, would be the Slumbering Behemoth Imperial Stout. It is got an ABV clocking in at 10%.
10% beer. So
nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be feeling this one.
Yeah. I am a big fan of Imperial stouts, really Imperial anything. I love, if you raise the ABV in a beer, it makes me happy. And that's not just because I want to get drunk. It's because sometimes, I like a stout, but a stout has a certain flavor profile. And when you add alcohol to a beer, no matter what the beer is, whether it's an IPA, whether it's a pumpkin beer, whether it's a stout, it doesn't matter what it is, adding more alcohol to the beer adds complexity to the flavor, and it makes it kind of a richer, more full-bodied experience. So yes, it's going to pack a punch. It's going to make you feel it really quickly, but it's also going to make a far more complex beer in a lot of ways that I really enjoy drinking. So I'm excited for this one.
This beer is special because it's named after, for all the people that know Hamden, Connecticut, Sleeping Giant Park. Great place to hike.
If you know Hamden at all, if you come to Hamden, you'll find Quinnipiac University, and Quinnipiac University sits at the foot of Sleeping Giant Mountain, which is a mountain that we have that from far away, the hills look as if a giant laid down in the. You gotta squint your eyes.
He's there.
You gotta see it through. But the Slumbering Behemoth is named after the Sleeping Giant. We're drinking it out of this one we bought in cans, so we're drinking it out of pint cans, and we're putting it in a glass,
pouring it into glasses because we're classy bitches. Yes.
Unlike the one that came directly from the keg to a growler to our beer.
Hey, whatever works, I
just want the people to know what's happening.
This thing, okay. So on the SLJM scale, SRM scale. This thing is dark. This looks like coffee.
This thing is like 39, maybe more than 40. It's like jet black.
Yes. So if you like coffee, you have an idea what we're drinking. Rich bodied, very, very full body. I haven't tried it yet, but I just know this type of beer. If you really love stouts and if you love like beers like Guinness and things like that, this is nothing like Guinness. This is like, it is like Guinness and it isn't. It's just the flavor and the notes and what you get. It's just so different. And again, coming in at 10%. This is a strong beer.
So I just poured it into my glass and it pours it's like thick. It's like pouring coffee, or like, you know what it really looks like? Coca-Cola. Like it's that dark.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It's that dark, and the fizziness of the bubbles. The head is like this like nice dark pillowy head of foam that disappears real quickly.
Let's do it. Salud. Oh wow. Come on, man. Really? That's so good. Oh, that's so good.
Ooh. You're going to have to excuse me. I want to go curl up in bed with this beer.
This is you drink by a campfire. This is going to punch you in the mouth, but in like the best way.
So delicious, man. So on the smell, caramel, chocolate, coffee.
Yeah.
And in drinking it, that chocolate comes full flavor forward. Yeah,
it hits you over the head.
Chocolate, vanilla, some caramel. It lingers in your mouth. The mouthfeel is like, it's this like delightful kind of, it's just like coats your mouth, and it doesn't like the flavor lingers a little bit.
I'm gonna like pour this like.
It feels in your mouth like you just ate chocolate that melted in your mouth.
Yeah.
And went away. That's the feeling I'm kind of left with.
Yeah,
it's delicious.
I agree. I want to like pour it over ice cream. That'd be a horrible idea, but like, you know what I mean? It's just, it reminds me of chocolate. It tastes that way, but it's also just the full body of it.
It's also like bourbony. It's like you get the chocolate, you get the caramel, you get all those sweet notes, the vanilla, and the high ABV gives it notes of these like bourbon or brandy flavors. Like, yeah, if you put it in a pot and reduced it for like a few minutes, like thick like took a little bit of the water out of it, what you'd be left with is something that I would love to pour over like vanilla ice cream, you know?
Yeah, you could definitely like, I don't know, it's like a dessert beer almost.
It's delicious. Beer Advocate, we haven't talked about this with the other beers as much, but Beer Advocate does rate beers on a scale of 100. Really, their readers do. So it's the ratings that readers give the beer. That is the rating that the beer eventually has. The Headway IPA clocks in at 93 on Beer Advocate. This one clocks in at 92, so really high rated beer.
And they're out of what, 100?
Out of 100, yeah. On Untapped, out of 5, it's got a rating, a consensus rating of 4.24. So if you like stouts, this is a good one for you.
This beer will like make you grow a full beard in like 24 hours. Like I feel like men drink this.
If you're going bald, this beer will grow back your hair.
You should be carrying an axe and wearing flannel.
You could order Roman, or you could drink this beer.
Or you can drink this beer.
And it does have that high ABV, but the other thing about this beer is it's subtle. Like you don't drink it and go, holy shit, that's boozy. You know, like you don't drink it and it's not like taking a shot. Like you don't feel it in that way. It is subtle. It's so sweet and delicious, and you're just going to enjoy drinking it, and that ABV is going to creep up on you.
Oh yeah. 15 minutes from now, I'm going to be on the floor.
The other thing, this kind of like slightly breaks my heart to talk about because we couldn't have it on the podcast for you guys, but they do have this beer. They took this beer, this Slumbering Behemoth that we're drinking right now, and they aged it in maple bourbon barrels, and they have that on tap at the brewery. And I'm not going to lie to you, we sampled that before we left, and we couldn't do it on mic for you guys, but that
it made us taller and it made us muscular, more muscular.
It was like going to the gym, but all we did was take a sample of that beer.
It was so good.
It was so
that
good.
Maple syrup that it's not too sugary, and you think with it's not just pouring it into the glass. Like it really added what we. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could drink like 10 of these."
It just takes this beer that we clearly love. I mean, you can hear it in our voices. We're so passionate about it.
Yeah.
And it just heightened it to another fucking level.
Yeah,
and it was
man.
like sweet. It was like all of these flavors that we've been talking about, and in addition to that, this extra layer of like sweet deliciousness that was so exciting. It just was so much to take in on your palate. It was delicious.
This I don't know about you, but this just screams campfire to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like not necessarily winter, like sure winter, but just it's a little chilly. Throw on the camp. Let's make a campfire. Throw on the campfire. Listen, oh my god.
And
let's make a campfire. Like definitely this type of beer. This is it's like a dessert.
Yeah, it's really delightful, and it's available in pint cans from Counterweight. So, Counterweight, they do distribute their cans to local liquor stores. It might be harder to get if you're not in the area, but if you find yourself in Connecticut for any reason, get yourself there.
Yeah.
And try this stuff because it's I don't know if you could tell, we really like this beer. And I like that it's named Slumbering Behemoth too. I like that it's from their website. It's their tribute to the local landmark, which dominates our horizon that we share with our friends and patrons. That would be Sleeping Giant Mountain. And this Imperial Stout will move you. It is constructed with an array of malts to create the notes that we've been talking about: dark chocolate, vanilla, and caramel.
Caramel. It's so good. It's so rich. I feel like I'm drinking chocolate, but in a beer.
I'm going to be sipping on this for a while. I'm
already feeling it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It's a powerful little beer, but I'm
seeing two of Steven right now.
I'm gonna snuggle up.
Not with me.
By the campfire. Come on, please. If I beg.
All right. Fine.
All right.
Yeah, definitely like a campfire, snuggle up, sort of like you just got off the slopes of skiing. You're in the lodge. It's like
I want to go skiing now.
I'll have an Imperial Stout. Have you ever been skiing?
I don't ski.
Neither do I.
I've been skiing. I
want to do it. I've never done it. Okay, here's the thing with skiing. Off topic, we do this a lot. Hang in there. Just hold on. Off topic, we do this a lot. With skiing, I don't know why it is with skiing, but I've only heard horror stories. Like anyone that tells me about skiing, they're like, yeah, I tore my ACL, I fell, I did this, the skis broke, I was going too fast. I'm like, does anyone have a good skiing story to like not scare the crap out of me?
Well, the thing about skiing is, think about your foot. How long is it? Maybe a foot?
11 and a half.
When you put on skis, your foot is like 6 times as long. Okay. And that's a real pain in the ass. And so, if you're going down the mountain and something like you start to like lose your balance, you can't catch your balance. Your foot
What
is
are those sticks for?
The sticks do nothing. I don't know.
Why do people have those?
Why do you have the sticks? You don't use the sticks. It's not like you navigate with the sticks. Like, listen, it's been a long time since I skied. It was like a long time ago, but
you can tell we've been drinking. Because now we're just going on.
I had to learn for some reason. Like, I think like the school I went to took me on a skiing trip or something. Like, it was...
What?
It was...
Wow.
Yeah. So
we didn't have that field trip.
I got to the level of a green slope. I did that a few times, and it was fine.
I don't know what that means.
There's bunny, there's green, there's blue, there's black.
Oh, okay. So it's one step above... like, beginner.
Yes, the bunny hill is like basically like the ground was a little sloped in the backyard.
Oh, okay.
Somebody threw some snow down on it, and that's where you like learn. And then there's a green hill.
Right.
Anything higher than that scared the shit out of me. But you have to go down the mountain like sideways because if you go straight down, you're just gonna zip down the mountain.
Yeah, you have to snake down, right?
Yeah, but in all my week and a half of skiing experience, no one ever said you use the sticks. So I just held them for a long time.
They're for balance, but like what?
I don't know what you're balancing. If you're going fast down the mountain, how are you going to use the sticks to balance you?
You ever snowboard?
No.
I've snowboarded before.
How'd that go?
Pretty well. I didn't die.
I love that that's the bar.
That's the bar, you know. No, it was fun. And I felt like, it's like skateboarding, but on snow. I mean, I know, relax all the people who snowboard. I know I'm wrong, but I mean, I don't do these kind of activities, so it's all I can go off of.
We just don't understand your lifestyle. It comes out of love.
Sean White, please don't yell at me. I love you.
He's definitely listening.
Yeah, I've never been skiing and I want to go, but I've just heard horrible, horrible things.
You know what Gabe and I are great at, though? And see, this is the thing. Like, some people snowboard, some people ski. We can snow tube. And
wow. Oh, my God.
It's a skill.
Is it, though?
It's a skill.
That's, on the bunny hill.
Hey, guys, before we get out of here, real quick, every episode we're going to try to highlight some things for you that caught our eye, some things that we find funny or fun, some just exciting things from around, just not to do with beer, just around the world. And so, Gabe, what do we got?
Well, if you can find this woman, I don't know where she is, but her name is Wanda Dench. And if you can find her, you will have a great Thanksgiving meal. I read an article last Thanksgiving. this woman, her name is Wanda Dench. She thought she was texting her grandson, and she ended up texting a stranger. And basically what she did was she said, hey, can't wait to have you over for Thanksgiving. We're having it at my house. Bring your significant other, blah, blah, blah. And the person, his name is Jamal Hinton, texted back saying, who is this? And he said, send a picture. She sent a selfie. He sent one back. Long story short, she texted the wrong person. She thought she was texting her grandson. She texted the wrong person. And he said, can I still come over and get a plate of food though? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. Come on over. That's what grandmas do. They feed everyone and they care for everyone. 4 years later, he still goes over. This is a tradition now of texting a stranger saying, come to my house for Thanksgiving. And now they've got this great friendship, and it's hilarious, but also heartwarming at the same time, knowing there are people out there that you're just one text away from meeting your next best friend.
Shout out to the grandmas out there who
Shout
are serving
out to the
Thanksgiving
grandmothers
to
out there,
strangers.
for real. I mean, this has been going on, and it's like, it's a thing now. I mean, they always reunite, and they always meet up for Thanksgiving. They take selfies, and they just get together, and they just have a great time, and it's...
So what I want to know is, did the guy who was supposed to get that text also come to that Thanksgiving, or did he?
He got replaced.
She's got a new grandson now.
Yeah. No, he's my grandson now. You gotta go to your other grandparents.
Look at me. I am the grandson now.
I am the grandson now. I just think it's so funny that, like, think about it. You got a text from a random grandmother saying, come to my house for Thanksgiving. Aren't you going to inquire a little bit? Like, I wouldn't immediately just be like, nah, wrong person, goodbye. Like, I'd be like, well, wait, y'all got pumpkin pie?
What you serving?
What are you serving? Like, how do you make the turkey? What are we doing here?
Because my grandma's been fucking up cranberry sauce for years, and I've been looking for a new grandma.
Fucking grandma brought the wrong caramel. Son of a bitch, grandma. This is why we don't like you.
Wow. Are we going to end the show on that dark note?
Absolutely not.
I love my grandma.
I love, shout out to all the grandmothers out there.
Shout out to grandmas. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
This was episode 1. We are so happy to have you guys.
We're so happy you're with us. The HOP. Check back each and every Thursday. We will be here once a week to break down a different beer, different brewery for you. We're figuring it out. You're figuring it out. But we're going to be here every week, and we hope you stick with us.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We'll have a website soon. Follow us, contribute to us, DM us, message us. Let us know what you want us to drink. We only know so much. If you find a Hawaiian beer, an Alaskan beer, send it to us. We want to highlight everything that you guys want us to drink. This is for you, for the people. We want to do it together.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see on the podcast, because we can get hyped about any beer, but we want to know what you guys want to hear about and what you guys want to learn about. And we're open to anything. So send us your tweets, your DMs, your Instagram things,
your Venmos, your Form Springs. Send us money on Venmo.
Send us whatever you got. We want to hear from you. We want feedback. We appreciate you so much. And we'll be back next Thursday. So, Gabe, I think we did it.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Have a great week.
Let's get out of here.